Yo, what's up? I'm back again, right in front of you to connect, and just love being here with you. I am an artist, King A.D.S. You know what I mean? I'm a music guy. I do hip hop, electronic music, rock music type stuff. I just love making music, and been out there in the field for some time. But overall, when I do these videos, I just love to connect with people. Either you're rolling with me already, or this is the first time that you see me. I appreciate you and your time and your presence and spirit. Please come along with me for the journey. And while you're at it, please like, share, subscribe to the channel so that way I can continue to bring these messages and do more great, awesome things, out there. So while I wanted to get on here right now, it's always challenge myself, and I wanted to talk about imagery because we're in a time where perception seems to be like a huge thing, where there's a lot of opinions, whether they be corporate or political, or just from pure opinion, where like emotional, opinion. The imagery on what's on the outside, like what do we see? We see these people that look very important and influential, things like that, but we have no idea of their backgrounds. So instead of judging things by its outward appearance, because if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it must be a duck, right? Looks like a duck, then it must be a duck. But the truth is, what if that's not all there is to that? You know what I mean? What if sometimes, like they say, a wolf in sheep's clothing? It's very rare that it's the opposite way around, as sheep in wolves clothing. But sometimes you have that representation in past teachings where you have brothers of the light that would also stay hidden and maybe even look like they could fit into an audience or two, but that's just to lay low, because some of us out here like to, speak that truth and set people free. You know what I mean? And so the imagery could be false in front of a person, thinking that what you're looking up to and idolizing and striving to be may not be the best in conscience to your values, best in line with your values in the end. You may find that there's a lot of shady dealings and practicing or mispractices that take place. And that will be something that you can't stay on board with. Or maybe if you can, that means maybe your alignment can be swayed, which I believe I touched on that before, the term sellout, which means that you're willing to make a compromise to benefit, but to compromise your moral core and values, you know. So for the sake of the imagery to stay safe, that you would go along with the narrative, you know what I mean? Even though you may thoroughly disagree with it. But yeah, I mean, that's generally, I mean, just talking about from the outside, a person could be impressed with another person's, success or perceived success, but it's really all about the substance inside. So instead of going with the material gain, why not go with the purpose over the material gain? As I like to always put an emphasis on those things. I believe that when you put the emphasis on your purpose, that there's always another road to branch out into. There's always more to do. But with materials, you reach that peak and then there's just not enough and you just want more. So I think it's a very, one-sided thing, right? That's kind of lopsided. It's off balance, but with the other one that replenishes and can give more to make more situations and possibly create more possibilities to be involved with, which is awesome because it's not only helping others, it also helps you grow and expand. But those kind of things can be stunted if we only concern with image, and so perceived success, perceived greatness of a person can be done by PR campaigns, things like that, where they do these pieces to make the person seem more personable, make an individual seem more personable and likable to others, to put them in those scenarios. So, not naturally, like how I'm just getting on here and just trying to connect with you. And I do it at the risk of my own embarrassment and everything, but it's natural and genuine because I really do want to connect with new people as well as people that I already love. But, you know, I love meeting people and I love connecting with you and sharing my music. And so, I figured this was a way to be authentic and real and speak to the people with my own voice and thoughts and things that interest me versus anything I may be asked about in other scenarios, you know. So that's why I enjoy doing these, man. But yeah, so perception of imagery, you know, is it something, you know, that a person should put all their eggs into that basket on? Absolutely not. You know, it should go off the substance and the actions of the individual and yourself. You should hold yourself to that standard too, not by the things you own, but by the way that you handle situations and what you do with the things that you possess. Is it all about you, or do you see others in that big picture with you? Things like that. And so, yeah, I just wanted to touch a little bit on it, just about people and imagery and how they can get caught up and misled. Like how people could, like, for instance, Bernie Madoff, he was like a perfect example. Like, people thought, oh, this guy knows his stuff, and then they got taken to the cleaners. You know, I believe this new stuff with the crypto and NFT stuff, all the stuff that took place there, same kind of situation, to where a person can have a nice suit and a nice demeanor, you know, in their etiquette and everything, in the way that they're studied and they are obviously are educated, but can mislead a lot of people just based off of surface value, you know, just straight imagery, and without being educated and just being desperate, you know, to be accepted and to have some sort of recognition, you can get yourself into a lot of serious stuff, you know, and people's money just disappeared, their whole life savings, whatever that they were building up, that stuff is gone. So that really sucks, you know, that really sucks that people would take advantage of others, and they know this about people. And this is why I wanted to touch on it, because you can be taken to the cleaners by false imagery. You know, these people are always going to put up the best picture, the best perspective. Everything is always going to look like it's great, but you know, when you deal with the inner workings and the actions that ensue, then you're going to see how great it really is. Is it trash, dressed up to look like, you know, quality? Or is it, you know, sometimes that you can get the best relationship from something that seems honest and authentic in its means to provide its service or whatever, you know, product, right? But it's efficient and it works and it's clean and everything's great. You know, there's no backdoor shadiness for anything to actually be of a forget it, of a malintent, basically, of bad intentions. You know, I was trying to say another word, but it didn't want to come out right, so forget it. Had to move on. Had to move on. Um, but you know, sometimes people are real big on imagery. So like, oh, another one, like delivery services or pickup services that come to deliver something, or and they charge or whatever. And sometimes there's these outrageous charges, and the bottom line would be is because you're paying for their overhead, you're paying for their facility, you're paying for their new trucks, fleet cars, all that stuff is why it's so expensive. Where you can go to a medium size or a small size operation, and yeah, they don't have all the flashy things, but they have what you need, and the job always gets done at a reasonable cost, and it's quality work, and that's what you want. You know, you want something that's authentic all the way through. So yeah, while you need to be about it, you need to be knowing, you know, everyone does, needs to be knowing their stuff, right? And be about it and everything, not just, you know, half stepping, but it doesn't need to be overdrawn to be the best. It really doesn't. It just needs to be efficient and proper, you know, and considerate as well, you know. So yeah, that's imagery though. The power of imagery. You believe that it's better because it's shiny, and since it's shiny, then you want to be all about it. But then you get your bit in the ass, and then you hate it, and then now you're mad about it. But you did that to yourself because you say to yourself inside, whether you want to admit it or not, that you're not worthy of any type of quality in your life because you don't have all the shiny stuff. Well, guess what? You were wrong. We were wrong. You know what I'm saying? The shiniest thing ever is you, and knowing that you the sparkling jewel. You got this. So don't get discouraged, and don't fall for no false imagery. And let's research what we do. And man, let's keep on moving and keep on growing. All right, man. I love y'all. Peace.